Sweet.
Well, everybody, welcome to our inaugural show. And for our inaugural show, we have a stellar guest. He's a three-time grand final winner, two-time Challenge Cup winner, and won 3 World Cup challenges. He's played in the World Cup for Ireland. And without further ado, the stellar Rugby League stellar that is Michael Withers. Hello, Michael.
Hello, how are we?
How are you keeping? You well?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Happy days.
Yeah, just
all's good.
Plodding along.
Pleasure to have you here anyway. So it's great to be able to sit down and have a nice chat with you. So really looking forward to it. So
yeah, me too. It's always good, been out of the game for a while, so yeah, it's good to catch up.
So I suppose that we'll start at the very beginning. You, a young lad in Sydney, and getting started in the game, really. How did all that come about? Or
Back through my dad, I'd say. Started when I was 4 years old, and played right up out at Penrith in Sydney, and played for a few local clubs, and tried to make the Penrith Panthers set up, get involved in their junior pathways, and couldn't, and ended up at the Balmain Tigers, who gave me my first start in representative league. Yeah.
In 1994, you were selected for the Australian schoolboys team. How did that come about?
Yeah.
Tell us all about that experience. Like,
yeah, it was funny. It came about because being out west, the Penrith area, a friend of mine actually got a scholarship to go to a school, and funny enough, I just asked him if I could get a run, put a word in for me, and I ended up transferring across to John Paul II, Marion, and from there, made the New South Wales sides, the Australian schoolboys, and we won so it was called the Commonwealth Bank Cup then. So it was the whole Australia junior schoolboys tournament. So yeah, that's how that come about.
And was Brett Comorley in that team as well, the Australian schoolboys team?
Yeah, we had a few. Brett Comorley, Ben Eichen. Who else? There's a few boys that have gone on to play.
Jason Ferris.
Yeah, Jace was there.
Yeah.
Simon Benetti, he ended up playing the grand final for the Roosters. I've got to think back to my schoolboys, actually.
Was Lockyer there as well?
Funny enough, he couldn't make our team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't make the team. So, it was pretty... But we were the first team to lose on Australian soil. The Australian schoolboys that time. It was a 1-1 series, but we're the first Australian schoolboys team to lose.
We won't dwell on that, though, so.
Bit of history.
That same year, you won the Daily Messenger Junior Player of the Year as well, didn't you? Like, that was some achievement when you consider the crop of players that you were around at the time,
Yeah, mate, very fortunate. Like I said, we played in that Commonwealth Bank Cup series, so that, and obviously going all the way in that helped with point system that you accumulate to win the award. So it was a good year. It was a busy year. There was a couple with the under-19s Balmain competition. We actually took that out as well that year. So that was another good achievement as well in '94.
Wow. So your first professional contract was with Balmain Tigers, was it? Now West Tigers. Yeah.
From that, I was contracted probably a year before that, 2 years before that, and to Balmain, and that '94 season, it was a very good year for me. And then the following year went straight into grade. So with the Tigers, and I can't even remember when my first grade debut was. It was that next year, or the year after.
Yeah. So that was you
So,
up and running
yeah.
in the game then at that stage, like, you know. So I think you played 50 or 60 games for Balmain, did you?
Oh, yeah. It was in and out between reserve grade and, in first grade. It was up and down. But I ended up playing, I think it was 30 to 40 first grade games, and probably 20 odd reserve grade games, and probably 5 to 10 under 20s.
Still not bad, is it, you know? So
yeah, I remember the first grade debut. I played under 20s. I played a full game of under 20s. I played half a game of reserve grade, and I played 78 minutes of first grade in the one day. So
well, that was a busy day anyway, you know. So.
That's when all three grades used to play on the same day.
Wow,
so
young, fit, and energetic anyway back then, you know. So
long time ago.
Yeah,
couldn't do it now. The way the speed of the game is.
Yeah.
So,
and then from Balmain, then it was on to a stellar time at the Bradford Bulls. Your fourth season was under Matthew Elliott, wasn't it?
Yeah. What do you say? What year was that? 98. I was in and out with the Tigers. I was finishing up. I was going to sign for Manly, and just by chance, I went to my manager's office, and Matt Elliott was in there. Then we got a call from Manly saying they couldn't make the meeting, postponed it to tomorrow. I said, "Yep, no drama." So I left the manager's office, and then I was on the way back home, and I got a call from a manager saying, "Would you go to England?" I said, "Oh, I don't know if the offer's right." So I had to turn around, went back into the office, and had a chat with Matt and my manager, and agreed just on the spot, basically.
Yeah, and you had an absolutely stellar time at Bradford. I think from 99 to 2006, I think you played in 11 finals, if you include World Club Challenges. Like, that's absolutely staggering, really, you know?
Yeah. Like, I think at the time too, the year before, Bradford come off a pretty good season as well. So going into, it was even though they had a good year, there was a lot of new people come in. So it was. I remember I signed a guy called Nick Zisti. He was the big signing. And I was able to get over there and head down, bum up, really, and just train. And it was the best thing for me, to be honest, from a footy career, just to get away from Sydney and my mates, probably, to really knuckle down and start my career there. And very fortunate to walk into the team. Not walk into it, but earn my way into the team and play amongst them boys. When I first got there, there was a lot of old heads, and it was just transitioning into the younger guys that end up coming through and being household names. Like the Stuart Fieldens, Jamie Peacocks. They were only kids when I got there. I was a kid myself, but they were a bit younger. And it was just a good crop that come through. That's why we're able to sustain the to sustain the achievements that we did have after that.
Absolutely phenomenal time. And even some of the players that you played with over there, you mentioned some, Stuart Field and Jamie Peacock. You would play with Leon Price as well, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, Leon. Yeah, he ended up being part of my deal when I first came over was they put me up in a house. So Leon was 17 at the time.
Yeah.
He learned how to drive. He drove my car. He ended up being my housemate.
Wow.
Pretty good times.
And then you look at Leslie Vanicolo, Shantae Happy, Tavita Vaikona. The list goes on and on, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And that, as I said, that was the next wave that come through. Where obviously the recruitment was very, very good, and picking up, like you say, Les, Sean, Joe, Big Joe. At the time, one of the world's best props. Leslie was one of the best wingers, and Shonny was coming off a knee, Rico, but his talent was was untapped. He was a very good player. And then mix that with, like we just said, the English boys, the Lee Radfords, Jamie Peacock, Stu Fieldings, then you had Robbie, and then we obviously got Henry as well.
Yeah.
Tavita, he was one of the best wingers going around to Icona. Oh, not Icona, Tavita, what his last name is. But Big T, and we just had a good team. Paul Deacon, great halfback.
Yeah.
And then we had the Jimmy Lowe's, the Brian McDermott, Paul Anderson.
Yeah. The list is
it goes
endless.
on.
It goes on and on. Yeah.
It does.
Stellar teams and a stellar time for Bradford. They're in a little bit of a decline at the minute, and that's not good to see either. So.
Yeah. I still watch. I talk to the boys, and from afar, look at what's going on at Bradford. Yeah, it is a shame.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they've got a coach at the moment. We always stay in touch, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can turn it around and get back up the Super League.
Absolutely. Well, that's always the goal. Anyway, we get Super League and then start challenging, really, isn't it? So.
Yeah. I think what do you say? The being relegated doesn't sit well. You know what I mean? Like, you have a bad year, which Bradford did, and they got relegated. They just haven't recovered.
Yeah.
And with a fan base of what they've got, and the history in the Super League, it's a shame they're not in there. It's like watching from here too. The local derbies are awesome with Leeds, and just a shame not to see them in there.
Yeah. I suppose the four big teams back then that you met consistently in finals would have been Wigan, Leeds, and yourself, really, and Saints, wasn't it? You had some great battles over the years. Played some awesome teams.
Yeah. Probably our biggest rivals was St Helens at that time, and they got the edge on us in a couple of finals, which wasn't good. But all these tightly contested, and it didn't matter who you played. Wigan had an awesome team as well.
Yeah.
I think 2003, that team they had really was very strong. And Leeds were always tough. And again, the young ones, the Maguires, Rob Burrows, or they took over our mantelpiece basically, and had a lot of success after that. After when I finished playing, really. And obviously St Helens are going for their golden patch at the moment too. So it's good to see, but a lot of rivalries there.
So we'll start off. You're in Bradford now about 2 seasons. Your first grand final didn't end the way you would have liked, but what was it like? Your first experience playing in a Super League grand final?
Yeah, awesome. Mate, we come off a real good victory at Odsal. I think I can't remember. We pumped St Helens, 40 odd something. So we're pretty confident going into that game.
Yeah,
I remember that. And mate, obviously Henry scored the runaway try early. And we thought, here we go, we're on here. We're going to get this. And then I remember I remember my first involvement in the grand final. I missed a tackle on the Iro. From a scrum, he just palmed me off and ran through me. I thought, oh no. Thankfully he didn't score, but it's hard to explain. Like, obviously the big crowd at Old Trafford, and a lot of us were young, so it took its toll. But unfortunately, we just didn't take our chances, and a dubious call in that game. So I touched the ball. I'd like to see it replayed anyway. And Sean Long kicked the goal from the sideline to beat us. So disappointing result, but awesome experience.
I think it was around that time after that game, Matthew Elliott went down to Canberra, didn't he, to coach at Canberra? And then in comes Brian Noble. And back in the grand final in 2001 against Wigan. I think he gave them a bit of a shellac in Wigan that day, didn't you? You personally with your hat-trick. First man ever to do it. only man ever to hit a grand final hat trick.
Yeah. Nobby took over. Nobby was assistant, to Matty, and obviously Brian Smith era. So it was an easy transition for the players and with Nobby. Nobby's a great man manager, and like Matty. Like, to be honest, Matty's one of the best coaches I've had. And when he left, I was a bit, he brought me there. So, we Nobby come in and took over, and it was an easy transition. And yeah, that day was pretty special for the club and obviously myself. But it was just one of them days, mate, where everything clicked.
Yeah.
And just in the right position to get on a couple of tries and backing up.
And man of the match as well, the Harry Sunderland Trophy as well. So, amazing.
Yeah, mate, great. It could have went to anyone, but to be honest, it was great to receive the award. And like I said, I was on the end of some good moves, and real fortunate to receive the award.
Well deserved, absolutely. I remember sitting down watching that game. It was a fantastic game to watch. I didn't think you'd sweep them aside as you did, like in the end, I think you hit them for 40 points, did you?
Oh, I wouldn't know. I just remember at half time we're in the sheds and everyone's just looking at each other going, shit.
Yeah.
We're up by 20. We're up by 20, yeah. It was the worst feeling. It was the worst feeling than coming back out of the field, to be honest. Because you're either going to be heroes or you're going to be the worst comeback ever to get beat. So I remember. So we just had to knuckle down. I'm pretty sure Wigan scored. Yeah, they did. They scored first in the second half. I'm pretty sure. And we had a bit of, here we go.
Yeah.
And then
game on.
I think Stu Field and they scored after that, and then Graham Mackay. It was a good night. It was one where you could actually enjoy the last, like for Bradford anyway. We could enjoy the last 20 minutes out there and soak it all up. Wow,
amazing experience, So, and you went on to playing for the grand finals as well. That wasn't the end of the story at all,
Yeah, that's right. Like we were very first. I had the top of my head.
Leeds was the next one, I think, wasn't
it? Yeah. I don't know if we won that final or we lost it. It seemed to be we win one, lose one.
Oh no, you did. You beat Leeds, yeah. You beat Leeds.
Did we? Yeah.
You got a very good Leeds side, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, like I say, all the teams we played were very good. The St Helens teams were tough. Kieran Cunningham, led by him, and Scully. Yeah, Sean Long. You love, mate. Heaps of good players. And then, like you say, the Leeds boys, which they become, I don't know how many, the superior team after our little success. They followed on themselves for 5 or 6 years. And like I say, now it's it looks like St Helens are in there.
A very good St Helens, yeah.
Yeah. So it's all good, mate. It flows. It goes in roundabouts. But as a player, you just gotta. You're very fortunate to be in a side, not one side, but in a club that's successful.
Some fantastic memories from grand finals. I suppose you played the Challenge Cup as well. And there's no knockout Rugby League Cup in Australia. So what was it like, not just to play in the Challenge Cup, but to actually win it twice? Like, it must have been amazing,
Yeah, the best one by far, and it's probably, to be honest, it's probably my favourite success was Murrayfield. The club hadn't won it for 50 years. I remember the night before the stadium. So you got the signage, the billboards around at ground level. The water was up halfway up that the night before the game. It was talk it was going to be cancelled. So we're up there anyway. Somehow they got all the water gone, and the pitch was awesome. It was unbelievable the way they got rid of the water. And just that game, we played the Leeds Rhinos. and that was my first trophy as well. You know, as a senior. But that win was awesome. You know, we held on in the end. Leeds were coming home, but probably the celebration after and the return to Bradford with the ticket that the open bus parade down Manchester Road into the city was awesome.
Again, awesome memories again. You went on then, you played in 3 World Club challenges, winning all 3. Like that's some achievement, you know.
Yeah, very good for the English team, English club.
Absolutely.
Playing against 2 of my former clubs, Penrith, Balmain, West Tigers, and Newcastle. We it's funny, we win it, and then you go say, oh, you know, they're not fully wound up yet, you know, blah blah. But we always thought that we were looking for an opportunity to go to Australia and play them in their backyard. We wanted it. It just didn't transpire that way for whatever reason. And you know, each time we played, we were dominant. It was a strange one because they were tough games, very tough games. But we just, mate, to be honest, we just thought we couldn't be beat. So, and it proved that way. We're very confident in our own ability, and it was a good success.
Yeah, because I think that the Newcastle Knights game, I think you hit them for over 40 points. I don't think anybody's seeing he's racking up so much points against them, like, you know.
Yeah. You know, with our pack that we had, points were always going to come off the back of that, you know, for our halves. But all-round team, we had a very good all-round team, and teams just couldn't go the 80 with you. So, you know, it'd be very close for 60, but by the back end, you know, the damage that our pack did took its toll. Back end of games for you know, the backs to cash in on.
I always remember Paul Anderson. He was like a battering ram, wasn't he, back then? Like, just give him the ball and let him run. It can't have been a nice sight if you're a defender and you see him full pelt, ball carrying, running straight for you, you know. So
yeah, he'd take in 3 or 4, and then you had Joe Vargan on, you know, vice versa on the back of that, and you had, you know, the back rowers, Peacock, Radford, just, you know, rip it in. You know, it's taken 3 or 4 men to stop them, and then you move them a little bit around. They're gonna be short somewhere.
Yeah.
But like you say, getting in front of them. Yeah, glad I was fullback. Nah,
but what did Brian Noble call them? The Awesome Foursome, was it? Or he had a nickname on them,
Awesome Foursome. Yeah, Awesome Foursome. Yeah,
rightly so.
Very, very, I was very dominant as a foursome, and that's what you needed up front. You know, you got that up front. It's a lot easier for everyone else to play on the back of them.
Chance, haven't you?
Yeah, big time. Quick play the balls, and you know, Jimmy, he was always out of there, you know, on the quick play the ball, and then you had Robbie and Deeks and Henry when he was playing with us. Just playing, you know, fast footy.
Awesome team. I suppose 2006 then was your last World Club Challenge match. What was it like playing against Wests, your old team?
Yeah, it was good, really good. It was really good. They obviously had a great success the year before, and like any team, I suppose, you're playing against an old team. You want to do well, and you know, we just happened to meet on this occasion, the big stage, and it was nice to win.
Absolutely, always nice to win. Yeah. So, your favorite memory with the Bulls?
Favorite memory, like Murrayfield definitely was top of my list, for sure. But Oh, yeah, it's hard to think back. Obviously, individually, the Old Trafford night was great. When we beat Wigan, that was great. Like a couple of ones, field goal against Leeds at Odsal in front of the record crowd. In the same year, I think it was the same year, or maybe it was the following year. I did one at the Boulevard as well. It was a better field goal than that one. It was about 40 metres out to the side as well. And I had a horror. It was after a challenge, mate. I can't remember if it was after the Challenge Cup final or not. We had to back up straight away midweek, and I slotted one there. That was pretty good because I didn't have a very good game that game, but was able to kick the winning goal, the field goal, which was nice for the boys. And then obviously the big games you cherish. And I still haven't watched it all back yet, all my games. I've seen little glimpses, but there's probably a couple of just regular game wins that were pleasing. Yeah,
absolutely. You kicked a few goals in the cup final as well, didn't you? Or was it against Penrith? You kicked a couple of goals, was it?
Yeah, last man.
You could do it all, couldn't you?
Mate, I could miss them. Don't worry about that.
You could get them too, though.
In my early days, as like I say, when I was a schoolboy and coming through, I used to goal kick. And what do you say? Yeah, when you kick regularly, it's easy. You know your technique. But because we had such great kickers in Paul Deacon, Henry was great. I don't think it was Steve Mack when I first got there. He was goal kicking. I practiced every now and then, but I remember that day. You goal kicking. It's like, oh shit. And different. I remember kicking once at Warrington at the old Willows, and it was a close game. I went for a goal, fell on my ass, and then missed the goal. We lost by 2, I think it was. So goal kicking used to be fun.
Oh yeah. When you were at Bradford, was Sam Burgess coming through the ranks at the time, or were you gone at that stage?
Yeah. No, I got Sammy. Sammy, I played with him 1 year, so that would have been 2006, and then 2007 when I went to Wigan. He was coming through.
Yeah,
he'd already established himself the year before. Yeah, when I was at Bradford. Yeah.
We all know how that worked out for him anyway, so he went on to have a great career as well, didn't he?
Oh yeah, awesome. He got to play at the back end with Joe and Stu. Oh no, Stu come with me. So he would have been good coming in, for that awesome force and just, the next man down. He would have been awesome. But obviously we dispersed, unfortunately, towards the back end there. And and he was the next wave coming through, which, and his brothers. So Sammy had a great career.
But that was it for Bradford. The next big move then was on to Wigan. And I remember thinking at the time, now this is going to be good, like you linking up with Wigan, because I think Stuart Fielding was there around the same time. Of course, Brian Noble was the coach there at the time. I thought it was going to be an outstanding time, Little did we know that injury had come along,
Yeah, Brian left halfway through 2006, and Stu went as well. Yeah, he had a big transfer fee, so they went there, and what do you say? 2000 didn't work out with Bradford with the contract. So I was going to go to London with Brian Mack. He was coaching there, but I ended up staying and going to Wigan. And the few of the boys that were coming in, Trent Barrett, Phil Bailey, and Brian Fletcher, already knew Shane Millard. So excited to go to Wigan, obviously, and it was excited personally too to play, link up with Baz, who I played with against in Australia for many years before I came over. And yeah, mate, the night we played Leeds. Yeah, I think so. We played Leeds. It didn't go too bad that game, which was good. And woke up in the morning. I mean, he was just fat as a balloon. Don't remember doing anything to be specific. It just, yeah, I remember ringing Nobby and saying, Nobby, I can't come in today.
Yeah.
Goes, what's that? I said, my knee, it's as fat as a balloon. And he goes, what did you get up to? Yeah, nothing. Just went home and just woke up with this knee. No pain, no nothing, just a big fat knee.
Wow.
And and it just ended up working out, a couple of microfracture surgery, and it just didn't come right, unfortunately.
That was that then, because when you initially made the move to Wigan, I was thinking, as a rugby league fan in general, this is going to be good, I thought you'd burn it up there, really, to be honest with you,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was hopeful. I was hopeful doing that. Definitely. And we actually started the year right. And my combination with Baz in particular was growing. I think we got knocked out of the Challenge Cup by Saints. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we did at Wigan. So we were a team in progress. A lot of changes there, but you could see we're going to have a good year. With Shawnee O'Loughlin and all them. But yeah, didn't pan out for me, unfortunately.
No. Not the way you want to end, anyway. Certainly not.
Nah, it wasn't. It's just one of them things. It just that's the lesson you say. I coach down. That's what you say. You say, mate, you can stop. One day you be flying, next day your career can be over. With serious injury. So yeah, just a bit of advice to people that'll do coach.
So I suppose going back now to your time at Bradford, you got called up to GB. There was a bit of furore around that at the time, wasn't there? It was a bit controversial.
Yep. A lot. What do you say? I got the call when I was in Amsterdam. So we just won the grand final, and we took off that morning to Amsterdam. And then Nobby rang me and said if I'd be interested. I knocked it back at first because, for that reason you just said, I knew it would, it's going to be controversial. Anyway, decided to do it, and don't regret that at all. Just didn't pan out. What do you say? It was pretty much guaranteed I'd play the first test, and then I didn't. So and Great Britain won the first test. So and fair, you can't change a winning team.
No.
So and I had a niggle in my groin, so I decided to get surgery after that. So I could be ready for the new season. But being selected and involved in that was awesome as well. Make no mistake, it was great to be around all them boys.
It was a good squad. Good squad back then.
Oh, very good. Yeah, very good side. Ratters at fullback. Yeah, you can rattle all the names off. It was
absolutely.
Very good side, and just to be amongst. And to be fair, all the boys were awesome to me.
Yeah.
When I went into camp, they the boys weren't the problem. It was just a bit of media.
Yeah. Well, sure. Look, paper doesn't refuse ink, I suppose. So.
Yeah. That's it. It was funny. The Aussie coach had a go at me too. I said, mate, you're not going to pick me, so what are you worried about? It's just one of the things. And I was very happy to get the opportunity, and just didn't pan out, but still great. It was great to be involved.
And then I suppose we have to go back then to 2000, the Rugby League World Cup. But it being World Cup year, we have to talk about that. How did that come about?
Yeah, same thing. It was through my grandparents' side, and it was, I can't remember who reached out. Andy Kelly, the coach. I think just come up and met went out with Barry McDermott. We got together, Tez O'Connor, and just put it out there. And yes, I was keen, and then as the year built, other people were coming forward, putting their name forward. Like Luke Rick, from the NRL.
Yeah.
So you could see we're going to have a great side, and we decided to have a go, and one of the best tournaments we've had, and it was the best time off the field as well. It was just great to be involved. Yeah.
I was at the game against New Zealand Maori at Tolka Park in Dublin.
Oh yeah.
I had the pleasure of seeing you all in action and beating them. What was it like facing Tawara Nico doing the haka? That must have been pretty awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, because they did it a bit differently and ran down to the other goalpost and then come back.
Come out at the triangle. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, when are they going to stop? They're going to keep coming. Shit. Mate, it was awesome. Like, well, for me, it wasn't intimidating. It was a good show. It was a good, their culture, and you see them coming, and worked up. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it, and that part of that World Cup. A lot of the sides had their own war cries, kind of, and just to be there, standing so close in the pose it was awesome. And like I said, we managed to get a win that game, so it was great.
Bring on England then in Headingley. I remember in the build up to that game, I thought England were there for doing. I thought just had the team to do them. Looking back now, do you think it was a game that got away that you should have won?
Oh, look, you could probably say that we were confident, 100%. We were confident we could win this game. And at half time when we led, we like you say, we were in a very strong position to take them down. I think it was just, we had a bad 20-minute period, and it just cost us dearly. And we gave it a good crack, like we knew we would. And another day, another game, we play them again, we might beat them. But they were a good side too.
You were a good side too, though.
Yeah, and mate, no excuses. We were confident. We were really confident, and like I said, we were very disappointed that we didn't get the win. And like I said, from half time, and we were leading, and probably one that did get away.
Yeah,
one that did get away, but what do you to get where we were, it was still a very good, successful tournament.
And as a bunch after that game, did you all stay together long, or did you just disperse and go your own separate ways? Or
no, we had a fair drink, to say the least. That was part of it, though. That was part of that was part of the experience. Every game we celebrated. You don't get to win internationals very often, and if you get to play in them, there's no given there, and you had to enjoy it. That's what made us good. We were a tight knit group that enjoyed each other's company on and off the field.
And do you keep in contact with many of the guys now, or?
Every now and then, every now and then, mainly through social media. A lot of the boys still stick, yeah, a lot of people have gone their own different ways and very busy, but a lot of the boys still speak to each other, and and you obviously see them doing what they're doing. Some are in the media, obviously, and some coaching. It's all there.
It was a good experience. I enjoyed getting to see us playing in Tulka Park anyway, so I enjoyed it anyway. Pity I couldn't get to more games, but sure.
Yeah, even the Belfast one, that was a good game. The first game, that was that was cold, wet, but that was awesome. That was awesome also, and just being in Ireland was a good thing, to be honest. We really enjoyed it.
I personally, great memories of that time. That team in particular. So I was immensely proud to be there and watching us playing in Tulka Park in the flesh and actually getting a win. And there's a lot of people over here were excited, and
Oh yeah, we were excited too. we were pumped. Obviously we feed off the energy from the crowd as well. And yeah, mate, it was awesome. Like, really good experience, and we, even I had my parents and that over there at the time as well. So yeah, it was all good.
Good times. Yeah.
Yes, very good.
So I suppose
very
your post playing career now, what are you doing now? You're with the Hills Bulls now, is it? Or
yeah, coaching there. I was coaching. I coached in the lower grades with Parramatta and Penrith, and moved on to, so they were 20 years. So the Dylan Browns, the Reed Marnies. I had them. I was assistant coach to that squad that come through. Parramatta side that's really going well now. I was involved with them, and then I decided to coach the men. The Hills Bulls, and we're going all right, so that's a bonus. And doing that and coaching young ones, my daughter, my son, and that's pretty full on at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah,
with coaching, so enjoy it though. It's good.
Would you be willing to come back on again in the future, and we'll go more in depth into your coaching career, because I think it deserves to be delved into a little bit deeper, And after this, kids are going to be watching this over here now in Ireland, and they'd probably like to put questions to you about coaching for little hints, tips, and pointers and stuff like that. Is that something we could do in the future?
Yeah, all good. No dramas.
Happy days.
Yeah. So, that's no dramas, mate. I with the Hills Bulls, we're affiliated with Norse, who their coach is Jason Taylor. Used to play for Parramatta and stuff, and and they're linked to the Roosters. So a lot of stuff that I get, it comes from Trent Robertson himself. And so no dramas at all. Pass anything on.
Well, we'll definitely hold you to that anyway, because I'm sure the kids will be queuing up now with questions for you, So it'll be exciting for them as well,
Yeah. Anytime. I'm available. Anytime. Yeah.
So I think that's about it. I think we'll wrap it up for now anyway. Folks, the one and only rugby league legend, that is Michael Withers. Stellar career, stellar gentleman.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah. So.